we're going to work from the inside out. And when we do that, we are actually going to create much more of a soft effect. So my first section here, I'm going to come through this way, and I'm just going to cut the hair square. Let the hair fall down, and look at the amount of swing and softness there, which is actually really, really nice. The reason I'm using scissors is I actually want to put some strength into the hair. The hair's quite fine, and while I could razor cut it, I feel that this texture is happier with the scissors. So I may do a little bit of facial framing with the scissors at the very, very end. I'm looking not only at the length, but I'm also looking at the depth of the hairstyle. So bringing around here, I just want you to see what we already have. My next section, I really want to get around the face looking gorgeous first. My next section's coming through. Now, something really important to consider. The temple area. How much the hair recesses here. One time when I was very young in the business, this lady with the pointed nose, she looked like Gonzo. And she had blood red lips, very black eyebrows. She must have been 60 plus. I did a little layered haircut like this, and I didn't realize she recessed. So what ended up happening was that I actually turned her. She looked like a vampire by the time I was done, because I gave her this pointed fringe because I didn't allow for this. In any situation, you want to just slightly over-direct, then you can bring the hair back down, and then just look at how the hair falls. I want this to sweep across, so therefore I just need enough length for it to be sexy and sweep across like that. I'm now going to start working into the facial framing. As I come through here, I'm going to cut a little and observe. So while I'm working, I will be styling. So I'm going to just take a small amount off and then look to see how that falls around the face. So this is much more of a soft, sexy effect by doing this. So that's a little bit too long. Going to go back in again. I'm going to lift the hair out more and take some of this length off. And look. This is definitely one of those hairstyles where you cut and look and cut and look. I'm going to be working, creating most of my outline through my layers. I'm not over-directing forwards. This is where I'm going to get the lift. By pulling the hair out straight, I'm going to actually be following more of the shape of the natural hairline. And here again, pulling out straight. Now, when you're layering in this manner, it's going to vary tremendously from head to head because it's the density of the hair, it's the quality of the hair, how fine or thick it is, it's the movement, this area here I wanted to be a little bit shorter. And I've already decided when I've finished my other side, I'm going to go in and do some detailing around the face with the razor. And so therefore I'll get more of a nice effect with the facial framing. Are you passionate about hair and ready to take your styling career to the next level? If so, don't skip this video. Instead, click the link to find out how you can join thousands of hairdressers who've improved their skills, gained confidence, and increased their earnings by as much as 60 to 70% in just a few short months. Amazing, right? What are you waiting for? Click the link and I will see you on the inside. When you're layering in this manner, if you can stand as far back as you possibly can, you'll see your silhouette. Remember that when you're close to your work, you see the detail, but you're not seeing the actual shape. When you're doing a layered hairstyle of this nature too, make sure that you really start to move the hair around and see how it sort of like sits. Now, we've got that nice effect there. I'm just going to do one more section here. Then I'm going to cross-check and make sure that across the top of the head it's sitting nicely. Lifting up. And when you're also deciding on a hairstyle like this, the treatment that you give the ends, whether you're going to come in and chip into the hair, as in sort of slithering, or whether you're just going to keep it nice and blunt and chunky, these are all very important things. So cross-check is very important. There was something naughty there, smacky bottom. There we go. Pull this hair back. We're going to come forwards here. And layer out to the outline. So start off with a small amount. Cut a little, let it fall down so that you can see your softness. Next section. Pull the hair out. See, I'm taking away my length. I'm layering through, making sure I blend to the top. When you're doing this sort of hairstyle, it takes a while for the shape to evolve because you're cutting inside and outside at the same time. Don't panic if you're not immediately seeing your shape. Again, having the visual of what you're doing and where you're going is so important. I'm a big fan of looking at photographs for reference. Sometimes they're just a source of inspiration. Sometimes I have a client that will want the hair to be absolutely copied. But whatever the case may be, it's being able to truly, now you can see that strange solid line in this. I'm not even worried about this right now. Working with my razor, soft strokes. Over directing forwards again. And just break up the scissor edge. Over directing forwards. There, it's a little bit solid from the previous hairstyle. And if it's too wet, I'm not going to be able to really read it as well. You can see I'm layering through the top of the head and blending now into my back section. So being careful here that the crown area doesn't end up too short. So I'm going to lift away from the crown. And now I'm going to pull away from the crown so that my crown is preserved. Very important. Now I'm going to come through into my back and down into the nape. And right the way snug into the nape of the neck. Right the way through here. So my longest part now will be the exterior, not the interior. By Jove, I think I've got it. There we go. So we lift away from the crown, and we pull away from the crown. Pulling right the way back here so that our crown does remain long. You see how that falls? Now we're going to come through here. The wide side of the comb for a more relaxed effect, the narrow side of the comb for precision and more tension. When we're doing this sort of hairstyle, we must be careful that the hairline is going to be happy. So we've got a really great hairline here, nice and straight and flat, not naughty at all. No smacky bottoms here. Now we've got some short hair on that underneath, which I need to blend into from the previous hairstyle. So there's a little bit more work to do just there. Now we've got that nice softness coming right the way through from the top. Depending on the period of time you grew up in hairdressing, some of you may have grown up in the pure layering time of hair. And therefore, this action of flicking and bringing to you is a very, very nice, natural motion. Some of you, though, may have grown up, just head down a little, sweetheart, thanks. Some of you may have grown up, and just resist me with your head. So don't come, there you go, just there you go, beautiful. We were nodding together, that's perfect. Some of you may have grown up in the graduation phase of hairdressing, which means that you're really good at tucking the hair in nice and short into the nape of the neck. What we've got to be equally good at is both. The precision of working with tighter shapes and the layered abstract, as I'm doing now, which is a whole different sensibility and a different body language in terms of here, flicking the hair and seeing how it moves. Straight section down. Pulling the hair back here. Fingers square behind the shoulders. Coming from the underneath. Angling in. And angling in here. There's my outline shape, the very perimeter being my longest part. So I'm getting a nice effect here in terms of the head shape, even though it's a layered hairstyle. I'm going to repeat this all the way through to the back of the ear. Notice that I'm changing the position of my hand to be comfortable. Now I'm behind the ear, I'm now going to take this hair and swing it right the way around this way. And I'm literally pulling the hair out straight from the head. So let's just discuss this. First of all, we were coming out straight this way to create a corner. Now that I have the corner, I'm beveling this side of the corner by taking it out straight. And that will give me some nice shaping behind the ear. So you can see that this now coming around is really quite sweet. So I have my corner there. Next section is going to come out straight too. And we're going to unite with the ear. Hello, ear. We're back again. Going right the way up to our layers. Now here we're going to pull out straight. And we meet. We've collided, we've glided, and we've collided. We've glided right the way from the back into the sides and now into the front. So now when we look at this shape here, we've got the softness that we razored. We've got this nice soft effect through here, which again I may razor a little bit too. Continuing through my last area here, my final side, you can see I am continuing to over-direct the hair away from this corner to retain the length behind the ear, all the way through to the back. And then when I take this next section, which is an extremely important section, I'm going to swing it around in the opposite direction, making sure that I continually blend to my top layer. And here, bringing back and angling in and chin down for me. Beautiful. This section we take forwards. We've created our corner, now we round our corner. Coming right the way through to this area. Going to measure. I have a feeling that's a little longer. Oh, not really.